Bitcoin breaks $12,000 while simultaneously breaking an upper trend line of an ascending triangle, a bullish pattern, potentially with a target to $13,000. Do the Bitcoin bulls have what it takes to reach that target? And what of the little support that lies just below Bitcoin right now? What is up, everybody? Thank you for coming by. Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe on the way in, and let's jump into the video, the Bitcoin charts, because right now there may be something brewing. There might be something transpiring. Currently, Bitcoin really wrestling with 12,000. As I do this video, it's just up, it's down, it's up, it's below. So let's break this down. Before I do, here's a 10-second clip from yesterday, but I think we're very close, hours away potentially from Bitcoin making its move out of the symmetrical triangle. The question, or not symmetrical triangle, ascending triangle. The question is, which direction will Bitcoin break? Much of the market very, very bullish. Even here, it's a strong buy listed on tradingview.com for Bitcoin. Let's see. Much of the market very bullish. It's true. I mean, the markets, the altcoin markets, the Bitcoin markets, whatever you want to call it, everybody's bullish, right? And we try and take an objective look at the charts while considering those facts. And here's what we're looking at technically. Bitcoin, this is what has transpired. I did the video right here. This was the candle brewing. And since then, Bitcoin, this is really cool actually, fell below the trend line. And on this channel, when we get breaks below or above a trend line, we always talk about throwbacks and pullbacks. A throwback is you get a break up and throw back right down to that trend line. And then you have your confirmation when you see support at that trend line for a further bounce. That's bullish confirmation. A pullback is this. Bitcoin breaks the lower trend line, right? Which it did in the 6-hour candle. This happened pretty quick. And a pullback gets pulled back to the lower trend line. You wait for a bearish confirmation, meaning rejection and resistance. Further downside, there's your bearish confirmation. We didn't get bearish confirmation. The 2 6-hour candles currently that have transformed or transpired since this red candle in this pullback, Bitcoin broke back into the ascending triangle and actually broke above the upper trend line. Didn't have a long ways to go because, as I said in the video yesterday, we were at the apex, the end of this pattern. And, you know, it's not rocket science to look at a pattern when it's towards the apex and say, we're going to most likely get a break, yes, within hours. In this case, just about a day later, but at the very least, you can see we're really at the end of the apex. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of this video, little support below, and that's just because right now, since we do have such a small apex, we don't have a lot of support, right? We have obviously this trend line right now marking around 11,900 as a support area from my technical analysis perspective. But below that, usually, if we're talking about Bitcoin falling back into a triangle, right, we basically have support all the way down to the lower trend line. And in this case, that lower trend line from where it is right now, from where Bitcoin's trading, is right around 11,750 or so. So 11,750 to 11,000, let's do this, 11,900 is only like 1.25% margin of support for Bitcoin below where it is now, and Bitcoin has really no separation from that area. So this, I think, will transpire one way or another overnight, whether or not Bitcoin bulls get that separation. We get a little breakout. Doesn't necessarily obviously have to be to a $13,000 target. Those things can take time, right? And a breakout to the upside, meaning taking time, could look like coming to 12,500. We get that throwback to this trend line, get the bullish confirmation, and then we kind of see an uptrend to $13,000 target. Those things take time, right? This could be days, it could be weeks, it could be hours. But what we're looking for right now is a continuation of these bulls in this 6-hour candle, extending all the way back to this pullback that Bitcoin originally had not long ago. I mean, this happened today. This is a 6-hour chart. This isn't like a huge pattern happening. But yes, we have kind of some little support just below us. And I truly believe if Bitcoin falls back below, right, we get a throwback to this triangle, and we fall back below that trend line, I really think this target to the downside, because we do have downside targets right around 10,700 is just very much in play. If you go over here to the weekly chart, it's kind of messy, but you see the inverse head and shoulders we've been tracking. It's still bullish, everybody, but now we're talking about an inverse head and shoulders pullback, right? We got the breakout out of the neckline, and potentially if Bitcoin breaks bearish below this ascending triangle, the target is just above this neckline. So this would be a longer term throwback for Bitcoin to test that neckline just above 10,500, where we look for, again, bullish confirmation on that pattern for continuation to the upside. Bullish scenarios, even if they play out, they really can test our patience. But along the way of testing our patience, they give us those confirmations, right? We find those support areas like, wow, if we got thrown back, you know, market's going to be going crazy, crypto Twitter's going to be all depressed, but we're getting a bullish confirmation potentially if there's support there. Now, this is all bullish on the screen, right? Even if that happened and Bitcoin fell to 10,500, short-term bearish, you know, not the most comfortable move. However, long-term bullish for Bitcoin. Going over to the daily, just want to throw this out there. The daily chart does not look bad at all. You can see the stock RSI down here, the quicker moving momentum oscillator, basically very close to the oversold area. A ton of upside, a ton of room for a bullish move on the quicker moving, and then this RSI only trading right around 70 or so, really not even in the overbought territory. A ton of room also on this daily oscillator for the upside. This Bitcoin move above $12,000 can turn very bullish very quick. I know I talk about some downside in this video, but don't underestimate the bullishness that could potentially be lying on these charts right now. And that is what it looks like. We see Bitcoin when it makes its really parabolic moves. I mean, it's on the daily oscillator RSI right here. I mean, it's cruising up to the 90 area. As I mentioned, right now we're at like the 70 area on this chart. I really want to cover this. I'm zooming out on the charts, right? And this is my favorite thing to do. I tweeted earlier, I said Bitcoin has only closed 2 green monthly candles above $11,000 in its entire history. Similarly, by February 2017, Bitcoin had only closed 2 green monthly candles above $1,000. Imagine that. February 2017, Bitcoin 2 green monthly candles above 1,000, and we're in a very similar boat now. We have a very good idea of what happens next. Check this out. This is the monthly chart, and this is it. Bitcoin, you can see it if you look back here. This was the first monthly candle closing above 1,000, the second monthly post 2016 Bitcoin halving. Do you see similarities on these charts? Here's the first time Bitcoin closed above 11,000 on the monthly. It's also when we reached like 20,000. And here's the second time. This was in July, Bitcoin closing above 11,000 on the monthly. Currently, we don't know where this month will close. Excuse me. But we will find out soon, a few weeks to go. So it really does all start in these 6-hour charts that we were just covering minutes ago. What is Bitcoin going to do? What kind of separation are we going to get from not only the $12,000 area, but the $11,000 area if we want to get another monthly close above the 11,000? So those are my charts for the day. Wanted to give you an update as we go into this week because things are getting crazy. Bitcoin testing 12,000 again because look, last time we tested it, we know what happened. As I was actually recording the video, we got that huge dip to 10,500 that time. So zooming out on, let's go actually to the weekly chart and zoom out. We know the resistance ahead. It's the previous swing high up to around $14,000. That's what Bitcoin's facing. Bitcoin needs to break that swing high. But again, bullish momentum. There's a ton of room for the bulls. Let's watch. Let's see what happens. It'll be interesting to wake up tomorrow and see what Bitcoin price is. Wanted to do a nice little update for you. If you're here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and have an awesome night because I will see you in the next video. God bless.